this might be a little bit premature when it comes to reviews, but I want to go through my mind of what I think about the different hoods. I start with this one, KO1. Definitely the most expensive. It's very thick, very soft, and you see it's glide skin all over the place. Not just some places, but the whole, the whole inside. Easy to get on. You see it covers the most of the forehead and most of the chin. But this will give me yaw fatigue when I'm, changing to dry suit and all that. It takes such a long time, so this will bother me when I'm on the surface. So I take this on the very last thing I do. But it's covered well over the mask, so I think under the water this is a very good hood. And I think this is actually the bib less. So this is not even a bib. I think this is just very long here. So I think it's good, but I'm very sensitive to yaw fatigue thing, so I usually always come back to this one. But I use this the first dive and this the second dive because I don't want to have a wet hood anyway. The thing is that this is 5mm here, and these panels here are 7mm. So this is rather thick all around except for where the face is. But you see, the glide skin is only partial, it's not all over the place. You see, it's way more forehead here that can be cold, but it never bothered me this far. And the yaw is almost not, there's almost no pressure, so I can walk with this way much more on land, which is nice, at least when you're changing. But so this is a hood I always come back to because it's kind of cheap and it's also very efficient. These are the two I have tried underwater, so this is very nice, and I think it's probably better underwater, but this just by the simplicity to be able to change clothes and take on the dry suit and all the thing with the gear, and don't feel that the pressure which give you yaw fatigue and you get like stressed, like you want to get down in the water because this really annoys you. But these two I haven't tried yet, but I have tried something before. This is a 6mm. The last one I tried was 11mm, but that was so much thicker and gave me yaw fatigue, so I couldn't use it. So this one is one size larger. I think this is XXL, and it's thinner, so probably it's going way easier and better this time. And by the way, it's very soft interior, probably some kind of glide skin on this one. I don't know what this is, but it's soft. The problem, you probably don't feel the yaw fatigue when you try it like this. You have to have it on for quite a while before you start to notice it. But I feel that it covers much of the forehead, which is probably good when it's cold. But I feel that this will probably be giving me some fatigue at the yaw. But maybe you need to stretch it a little bit. I usually put it over my 80 cuff stage cylinder. But I noticed it's a little bit bigger. I didn't have the room for my whole finger before like this. I think it's way better design on this one. Before I only had like something over the forehead. And it's pretty long bib on this one. And this one, I have high hopes for Fourth Elements. Their undersuits or undergarments are usually very good that I have had this far, so I hold them in pretty high esteem. I have cut off the bib because I didn't want the bib. I think it's better without. this one seems a little bit more similar to the waterproof, because here you have way more forehead that are visible. It seems to be a larger cut around the face. So this, I think, maybe not giving as much yaw fatigue in the long run, but I see about that after a few dives. So yeah, but I think I like the logotype, and it's large in the back as well. The material seems to be glide skin, mostly around the face, but not the whole way through. It's probably only the KO1 who has it, and KO1, that's probably twice the price of most of these ones. And I actually ordered a KO1 that are a little bit thinner. This one is, I think it's 8 millimeters, and I think I ordered a 5 or a 7. I think a 5 millimeter. So maybe that didn't give me as much of a yaw fatigue as this one does on the surface. And that's, I think that would probably make this to my favorite when I get one. And then I have one that is like a special made with like name and the Swedish flag, because you can add like your flag and your name to it. I think that's a nice touch. So yeah, everybody say this is like a warm fuzzy pillow that is very, you know, soft and all that, and I agree, it's very soft, and you can feel the interior is like all the way through. If I turn it inside out, you can see it. It's all the same material, the glide skin-ish thing. So this is definitely the best materials, but I don't know if I like the cut. You probably see that it's going up a little bit, and that puts extra pressure here. But since it has like covered most of the face, it's probably since it's getting very cold. And if you, I see most of the tech divers use this. Maybe it's because of if you're doing the cold cave diving and diving in the mines and stuff, you notice the lips get numb and all that, so it's probably a reason why they go with that, since several are doing that. And waterproof is not necessarily a tech brand as such, and they don't maybe need as tight and have a wider cut. So for now on, waterproof is my go-to, and the K1 is my second dive hood that I use the second time, so I don't need to put a wet hood on. There's nothing worse than that. So I'm probably gonna test these, the Santi and the Fourth Element, the next dive, to see whether they are nice or not, since these are the brands I feel like they are very common. I see a lot of people doing with Santi, probably because of you get a free hood with a dry suit, and I see a lot of Santi dry suit divers. And the Fourth Element, I see a lot of people use that, so I have a high hope for that one. And the KO1, everybody starts wearing it, so, and for that price it must be something really, really special. And the waterproof, it just seems to be a very standard, and I never heard someone complain about it. So for the price, I think this is really good shit.